Welcome to Mario Kart 64 and the 4-player versus mode bonus game. Thank you so much to Awesome Games Done Quick for hosting us and to all the donators this week for unlocking our favorite video game. I'm Super Denny.
And I'm Jed, and here's how tonight's match is going to work. Our runners will be racing each other on all 16 tracks, but importantly, there are no computer characters and they will not be taking any shortcuts. They just have to drive fast and use items to beat each other to the finish line.
Our community made tweaks to show the total score at the top of the screen between races, and it also streamlines the track order and selections. But most importantly, it gives all the characters equal stats, so this is a fair matchup.
Now, let's introduce the 4 finalists from last year's Pennsylvania meet.
We have Pokermon as Yoshi,
Hattok as Toad,
Wah as Wario,
and Cheech as DK.
Ready to start your engines? Let's count down from 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, we are going to get started here on Luigi Raceway. This is one of the simplest courses in the game. It's basically a big oval, but there's a lot of strategy involving items. These players are coming up to their first item boxes right now, and you see Wario slowing down. They want to be in 4th place because the farther back you are in this game, the better items you tend to get. There is randomness, but it's tilted in the favor of better items the further back you are in place.
You can see Toad there using the gold shroom to their advantage. You want to slide while you're shrooming like that around the corner, you get the most speed out of it.
And we see Wario and Yoshi on the left side of your screen. They're both using shrooms through these long corners that have these off-road sections. Speed items are particularly valuable on Luigi Raceway because of those long off-road areas.
You might see our runners sometimes hit the brakes before they hit the item boxes here, and that's because the item is determined based on the frame that you're in that position. So that's how your luck is basically based.
Yes, and Luigi Raceway often has these reversal of fortunes on lap 3. Each course here is going to be 3 laps. So we see, for example, Wario again slow down there to get a better item, got a golden mushroom, is now turboing around this last corner and moving all the way up into 1st. But we could see another reversal on this final lap.
DK getting caught up on the fake item box there. Fake item boxes look almost identical to real item boxes, and when you hit them, it's quite punishing. It's like hitting a bomb.
Exactly. So we see the first red shells coming out, and red shells act differently in this game than some of the more modern ones. They will go directly towards the person in front of you, and if there's a wall between you and them, red shell hits the wall and does nothing really.
Oh, all right, Yoshi's going to pick up a star. DK gets a star as well. They're going to make a really tight turn here to get the most ground.
We have a lightning bolt at the end, and Yoshi passes. Yoshi is going to take home Luigi Raceway. Pokermon playing as Yoshi is going to pick up the first 3 points of the match. The way the scoring works is you can see across the top, first place gets 3. It goes down by 1 point per place, and conveniently, it's 3-2-1-0 left to right after the first course. We're going to be moving on to Moo Moo Farm next, which is the shortest course in the game and a very tricky course to drive because it is very hilly and undulating, and it's just tricky dynamics to find the best racing line.
It's awkward to find your center of gravity on this map, and there's also a sandbag strat. That's what you see Wario trying to pull off there. He spins out on everybody else. You want to get a great item to start because it is a really short race.
All right, we see Yoshi taking a dive there to try and get some better items. Does grab some mushrooms, and you will notice on Yoshi's screen off to the right, we're going to start to see these mole hills off to the right. The moles are popping up at random, so if you want to go through that shortest path, you either have to risk it or you have to have items in order to avoid hitting the moles.
And we see Toad in the front here holding the blue shell behind your back. Blue shell is mostly impervious to all the items. Red shell might take it out.
Yeah, and Toad holding a blue shell going up into 1st is going to discourage other players from trying to pass them because if they do, they'll instantly get hit unless they have something that can protect them like a star, but that's about it for the blue shell.
We got 2 shocks on the board while Yoshi's a star, blocks the blue shell with the star. Oh, but there's a Boo! Boo takes one of the lightning bolts away, looks like from Wario.
Yeah, so a Boo can take an item from a random player that has one. 2 players had lightning bolts there, so as soon as the Boo came up, they were highly incentivized everyone to try and fire their items so that they could use it and not get it stolen.
Yeah, Toad pulling out in front here. He can take a couple of hits, but it's a close race for second.
And that's another hit from the blue shell here. It's going to be interesting to see what item Yoshi gets because they are the closest. We do have a tight battle for third here, and Wario is passing DK and gets a lightning bolt. Is going to slow everyone down. So Wario's actually catching up to Yoshi here, going to go through the most and gets another lightning bolt. They have a chance to go all the way from fourth to first here. Are they going to be able to catch up to Toad? But they hit the banana. They're going to go across the finish line in
Mario's first. Wow.
So you see, this game is not just about the items you get, which are luck-based, but how you use them. And through smart item usage, Wario was able to go from fourth to first, and we see 3 players tied right now. Wah gets their first win, tied with Hattok and Pokermon. Cheech not yet on the board, but they are an extremely strong player. That's going to change very soon, I have no doubt.
Yeah, when there's 3 shocks on the board within 1 lap, a lot of circumstances can change. So it comes down to your item usage and timing.
Okay, we're getting starting on Koopa Troopa Beach. This has a really interesting dynamic in that there is a jump that goes through this rocky mountain. This is a much shorter path, so players are going to try to leave items on that jump, prevent their opponents from being able to make it, and lightning bolts are really important on this course too.
It looks like Toad's going to make the ramp. Yoshi makes the ramp. All 4 of our runners make the ramp jump. That's hype.
That ramp is trickier. I'm going to come back to that. Our players at the start of the field are grabbing an item, moving to the right. There is a miscoded polygon at the finish line. So if you hit the Z button at the right time, it will think that you're at the back of the path and give you a 4th place item instead of a 1st place, which is much better.
DK picking up a star after hitting that bomb car. The bomb cars are a versus-only obstacle, and there are set locations for the bombs, and they're usually in pretty tricky spots, and they move.
So Wario just spun out, hit a banana, but made it through the jump. All 4 players made the jump again. I don't think I've seen this in any of the rounds we commentated for practice.
Any of the practice rounds, yeah, this is the first time we're seeing this.
We do see a blue shell coming out and a lightning bolt, but Wah gets what we call a shock dodge, which is lightning bolts will not affect you if you have a boo or a star active, and that saves you the time and compared to your opponents who are hit by the lightning bolt.
Yeah, a lot of banana traps going up to the ramp. Wario's going to miss it, but he's going to go for the backup.
Toad misses the jump as well. You see how tricky it can be. We have a lightning bolt.
Dodge again.
Yoshi, the only one to make it. DK misses as well. We've got players going for the backup. Wario does make it. Toad goes the long way. DK makes it as well, so Toad chose not to go for the backup and ends up in last. They're going to get some items here. Will they be able to make it up? We got a close battle for second as well, but no, it's going to finish in this order.
Wow, what an exciting Koopa Troopa Beach.
And as we just said, Pokermon as Yoshi picking up another 3 points.
That's right.
DK getting there first, but we have a really close battle at the top here between Pokermon and Wah playing as Yoshi and Wario, and still with 13 tracks to go. Quite a lot can change.
Whew. Absolutely.
Y'all, we are less than $3,500 away from Disco Chunky Kong. That's awesome. Keep it up, y'all.
That is amazing. And you know what? We are on Calamari Desert. This course is known for having a train. So maybe we can throw it over to our host to get a donation train going. Maybe get some of that Funky Kong.
Let's do it.
Well, if there is going to be one, here's a good one to start it with. We have $250 from DK Rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally back to toss some shells. That's all they wrote. I swear that's all they wrote.
That's amazing.
That's great.
We also have $64 from Evan, Emma, and Philip. Another $64 in honor of the best Mario Kart. So happy to see the incentive met and my buddy Jed on the couch live. Can't wait for the next Pennsylvania kart meet.
Thank you so much, Evan. Evan is my best buddy from Alaska, and I'm seeing him in a week here. I'm very excited. But getting back to this Calamari Desert action, it's a unique course in that there's a lot of sand and dirt, and this does have an off-road property in that it slows you down just a little bit, but because the normal course goes so wide, you will see our players cutting through the sand. So for example, Wario is doing this right now, and you see this sliding with the letters coming out. This is what's known as a mini turbo. It gives you a tiny speed burst, and picking those up consistently is a way that our players are able to drive at such a fast speed consistently throughout this game.
Yeah, they add up really quickly, especially when you do them through the dirt like that. And
we see all 4 players basically on this long straightaway near the finish. Another aspect of this course that we haven't seen a ton of so far, but we do see some red shells connect with Wario right now.
Great spacing on those red shells by Yoshi.
Yes, is that there are very few walls in here, which makes this a course where red shells are particularly valuable.
DK spinning out here,
We
hoping...
do see a lightning bolt from Wario. I'm not quite sure the best point to use it. Probably
DK's going to hold him up with the reds. See if he spaces these out correctly. Oh, the second one doesn't count.
All right, Wario tried to use that lightning bolt shortly before they got to the item boxes so that they could get another item in the same place. They picked up a star. This again let them move up into first place. We have seen some great item usage from Wario in this match, and it looks like this is going to let them pick up another 3 points with the lead here.
That's
but
right.
DK getting a fourth place item and some red
Shock
shells.
dodge last minute. Oh, he's going to pick up 2 points here.
Very close race between all three racers at the end here.
Oh my gosh.
DK picking up 2 points, moving from fourth to second right at the end. We got a close battle. We see Wario picks up 3 points for the win there, moves into first in the match, just 1 point ahead of Pokermon as Yoshi. And the close battle for third also between Hattok as Toad and Cheech as DK right now. All right, our next course is going to be DK Jungle Parkway. This is going to be the first course we see with a very large jump. The strategy on this course is affected heavily by lightning bolts, so I'm going to interrupt myself if one of our players gets one here. But the reason for that is there is this jump, and you cannot make it across it if you are shocked and you become small. Oh,
Yoshi.
And Yoshi gets
getting
hit
sent
with
out of
a
bounds
red
there.
shell and actually wasn't out of bounds for a second because they were on the outside of the road, gets respawned back inside of the track, but lost quite a bit of time there.
So it's just a tiny bit of collision on the outside of that railing there that you can drive on.
We see the red shells are particularly punishing in Mario Kart 64. They pop you really high into the air, and on this course as well, you get these fruits that are thrown at you whenever you are off-road, which really caused Wario to spin out after he got hit. Toad is able to climb the hill more sharply there and does pass Wario.
DK getting stuck in the jungle there for a second.
Okay, DK getting stuck on their own course. Nobody with a lightning bolt yet. But we see the first one. The players are too close to the jump here, so Yoshi is going to hold on to that. We'll have to see if they hold on to it for a full lap or try to hurt players. That ghost prompts Yoshi to use it to prevent it from being stolen.
That's right. Oh, great flat. Great move by Yoshi there to get a piece of DK on the way.
And Yoshi has moved all the way from fourth to first just with that one lightning bolt because of how close everyone is. But players still have a couple sets of item blocks to try and pick up something to stop the opponents before they make it over the jump.
Yeah, speed items are really ideal here in this cave. Oh, DK getting caught up with the greens, but he gets a star. Can he double up like Watt did last race?
We get a blue shell hitting Yoshi, who almost tumbles into the water. Toad hits another one of those exclusives, and we get another lightning bolt. When are they going to use it? Yoshi tries to slow down to prevent it.
Wario stops himself. DK taking the lead on his own course.
Oh my goodness. And I do want to call out Yoshi made a sharp turn to prevent from falling into the water and just passing lower down. But DK now getting hit. Wario has a chance to catch up, and Toad with this golden shroom is going to try and also keep the pace with Wario. So much going on here into the final cave.
Very
These are
close
difficult
race
to climb.
First.
Those players both dodged the banana.
Spinning
DK going wide to try and get an item. Will players try to cut the inside of the pass. We have a very close race once again. DK does take home the lead on their home track, and that is going to be the first victory for Cheech, bringing it even closer. All four players within 4 points of each other.
Cheech playing as DK really needed that shock to work, but it was just barely enough to get first place.
Real quick, we have a close race, and we're also close on getting Disco Chunky Kong. We're less than $2,000 away from the Disco Chunky Kong incentive for Donkey Kong 64, everybody. Let's go.
Sweet. After Mushroom Cup, we play Special, Star, and Flower Cups next in a reverse sequence, and that way we complete some of the longer racetracks a lot sooner.
Yeah, and the Special Cup tracks are pretty tricky. For example, Yoshi Valley has this gimmick where they are going through a maze. Players will mostly take one of two paths. To the right is safer and you can get items. The left is a more dangerous path. It's slightly shorter, but there are enemies there that can spin you out. Additionally, we have a special trick coming up here. Toad's going to be the first one to attempt this hairpin jump. It is a 180-degree turn where they slide to the left and try to hop. This is the same path. Our first three players have made it, and Yoshi,
all four runners make the jump.
They make it look very easy. It is not.
They do. They really do. It's quite precise, especially in versus when you're dealing with lag and you're trying to focus on your opponents and where they are on the map too, because you can get bumped there quite easily.
Okay, Yoshi used a star, tried to cut across the off-road section. That saves a lot of distance. They did run out of the star, but ended up, it looks like moving from 4th to 2nd-ish. It's hard to tell on this course because of the maze gimmick. They choose to show the positions as question marks, so you can't tell which path is shortest.
Right, they obfuscate the rankings, but they still determine your items.
So Yoshi is the first character to fail the hairpin jump. That does happen quite a bit, even among these top-level runners. It is just a tricky jump to make, especially with the lag and the small screen resolution of a local 4-player versus match on one console.
Exactly. Looks like one of these reds is going to connect with Toad here. This is an ideal location for speed items to cut all that grass. Oh, what happened to Yoshi there?
Yoshi, I'm not sure, but the other 3 players are pretty close. Wario does get stuck here, so the DK is actually going to be the first player to approach the hairpin. They choose not to attempt it because they notice a red shell incoming and
DK makes the hairpin, so does Wario. It's going to be a close battle for first here.
DK took a small time loss there to make sure they could make the hairpin jump. Wario's going to pick up red shells here,
but
they can't get hit for DK because they have a ghost. Both the players are going to go slightly off-road here because it is the fastest path. Oh, Wario actually does take the longer. Another extremely close race here. Toad looks like with a star.
And another bolt.
We thought the bolt was going to take out the star, but that take out Yoshi before the star kicked in, but they did get the invincibility to get third. They will pick up a point there. But we have DK picking up their 2nd win in a row. We told you not to count Cheech out, and they are actually in 2nd in the match already.
Things can turn around very quickly in Mario Kart 64 versus.
All right, we are on to Banshee Boardwalk. This is a track with some sharp corners, a lack of railings in many places, and just needs very precise driving because it's easy to fall off and lose quite a bit of time. Because the course is so narrow and has so few railings, things like bananas and fake item blocks are much more valuable here than they are on some other tracks, whereas red shells and green shells, it's hard to connect. If you notice, our players are entering what we call the bat house. They're going to make this jump over the crack. They can fall in there, and
Yoshi makes it while spinning out.
yes, that is pretty tricky. And DK doesn't really make it through the exit of the bat house. Gets hung up a little bit there, but Wario is in first here. We've got a pretty even spacing between our 4 players, so anybody is really still in contention here. But you see DK with those red shells really doesn't connect because they just hit the walls before they can catch up to the player in front of them.
Can I hop in with a quick trackside report?
Absolutely.
Please.
We're putting Chunky Kong in a disco suit, y'all.
Good.
Thank you so much. $10,000 raised for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Chunky Kong is going disco.
All right, we love to see it. We love a good dancing Kong.
Exactly.
And okay.
We got kind of a 2-way race opening up here with Wario and Toad out in front.
Yes, indeed. And
Toad gets the side swipe on the red shell drag there.
Indeed, with the just gets around Wario there, is able to pick up the lead. So Toad is in front, and green shells can be tricky because the course is so narrow. It can be harder to dodge them. Wario does hit 2 bananas in a row. We mentioned before how difficult those can be to dodge. This Z section that DK and is going through, that can be a particularly dangerous portion. And we do see a lightning bolt. Does anybody fall off here? DK is barely able to hold it, but the bats can squish you, so Toad loses a lot of time. DK taking the left-hand route,
alternate route,
much longer, but avoids the bat, so the only one to get through the bat house without getting squished.
Pretty smart play by Cheech playing his DK there.
And
to avoid the bats.
Toad looks like they are going to take it despite another lightning bolt.
Yoshi getting sent.
All right, it does look like Hattok as Toad is going to pick up the win. DK just did a really interesting tactic. I'll come back to that in a second, but Wario is going to pick up third here and get a final point. All right, Hattok playing as Toad picks up the win here on Banshee Boardwalk. And we are about to enter Rainbow Road, which is the longest track not only in the game, but if you count all 3 laps, it's the longest track in the series, about 6 minutes. We are happy to throw it back to donations here for as we get started on this quite long track.
You just made every host's dream a reality right now. Thank you so much. And I have some incredible stories to share. We have a $25 donation from Mandy. My sister Kelsey and I kicked the pants off Mario Kart 64 together. She's the Toad to my Yoshi, and we still race together to this day. This is for her and for our mom, who has been in remission from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma for almost 20 years now. Huge thanks to GDQ and PCF for your incredible work. We also have a $20 donation from Soupy. My younger sister and I were trying to complete the 150cc mirror mode challenge in Double Dash as kids. We were in the last stretch of the last few races, and I fell asleep at the wheel. I still hear about it close to 20 years later. Love you, Alice. Trans rights.
All right, maybe one more?
Yeah, we have a $25 donation from LRXC. Everyone on this stage welcomed me with open arms into this wonderful community, especially missing my commentary buddy, Jed. Remember to call every body of water the drink. Good luck, racers.
Oh, thank you so much, LRXC. Hoping to see you at PA Meet.
Speaking about the community, it's a great time to talk about our players page. We've been tracking the time trial records of over 1,700 runners, and that's been dating back to 1997. And I'm aware of in-person competitions in this game actually being organized in both Japan and the Netherlands going back that far. And Mario Kart 64 Versus has just been really a staple in my family, the Dennison family, since the beginning. And I was allowed to go to the very first 4-player versus competition in person 20 years ago when I was only 11 years old. And that's thanks to my mom and my older brother for driving me. And that inspired the legendary Virginia meets, which evolved into the Summer Kart Invitational. And they feature the very best drivers from around the world, and it's been running for over 18 years now and counting. I personally discovered MarioKart64.com thanks to Drew Weatherton, and I wanted to warmly extend my sincerest thankfulness to Donna Weatherton, who made all of us involved in Mario Kart 64 feel like their extended family.
Yeah, and you may have heard of Drew Weatherton before. He is a legend in the Mario Kart 64 community. He is a taster of this game. He has commentated multiple GDQ runs. And most recently, he commented with Brody MK64 for Kaizen's Large Skips run in 2024. Brody is a local karter from Pittsburgh, and he's actually sitting right behind us.
Brody.
He created Pennsylvania Meet in 2023, which is an annual meetup for our community. The first PA meet was held in the back of a Panera because they let us use the room for free. It has grown every year since then. We had 35 attendees last year from 15 states and 3 countries.
Wow.
And we expect more next year. We always have a versus tournament, and our runners were the 4 finalists from that tournament. They are excellent at this game. If you're interested in watching this year's meet, it's March 7th and 8th and will be streamed on twitch.tv/BrodyMK64. And on a personal note, this event takes place in Pittsburgh, and this city has become really important to the community and is also where I live. Getting to commentate my favorite game at GDQ in this town is really an incredible experience for me, and I could not be more grateful that I get to do this.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we're heading back into the action here in lap 3. Toad's going to threaten Wario with a star there, but he just barely misses him.
All right, DK fires off a lightning bolt there, but unfortunately hits a fake item block that is disguised in the real item blocks. They look very similar in this game. And we see another fake item block and a little bit of chaos as Yoshi also tumbles. But Yoshi fires a star right before they get hit by a shell, and it looks like they might move into first.
Oh, they were angling for Toad there, just barely misses him.
Yeah, Mario Kart 64, when it's competitive, can be mean. If you get a star, you try to hit the other player, preferably knock them off the course if you can.
It's a grief challenge.
All right, DK trying to wait out that golden shroom so that they can pick up another third place item. Unfortunately, they just got some mushrooms here, so not what they were looking for. They hit another item there, and DK does, with their star, pass into third place. We have a pretty close race.
Very close for Rainbow Road.
Okay, DK again tries to hit Toad, and the Chain Chomp comes into play, and Toad is back into fourth.
And Yoshi gets a bolt!
Going from third, trying to squish someone. They don't, but they do move into first place. We have a
Right
very
back into
close
first.
race between second through fourth. Yoshi making up a little bit of ground as they are the only large one, but we do have a final set of lightning item boxes that could change everything here. DK slows down to try and get a better
Very close.
item
It's
in
another
third.
lightning bolt!
Wario's gonna pass from fourth to second. They go for this
Pick up 2 points.
and Toad about a second ahead of DK.
Very close. Rainbow Road is the greatest showcase for how well items are balanced in Mario Kart 64.
And let's just call out Pokermon won that as Yoshi, but Wah is in first at 15 points, but all three of our other competitors, Pokermon, Hattok, and Cheech, tied with 11. An incredibly close match as we head on to Wario Stadium.
Yeah, those scores are stunning. We had a couple of these during our practice rounds too they were nail biters to the end.
Yeah, it's such an entertaining format. And if you are interested in getting involved in this community, go ahead and head to MarioKart64.com and follow the link to the Discord to find out more. You don't have to be interested in versus. We have time trials. We have people organizing Grand Prix and battle things. There are other meets, not just in Pittsburgh. We have Wisconsin meets. We have the big Euro meet. And we also, you don't even need an N64. If you want to do time trials, you can play on the Switch. We just have, you know, a little bit different rules for it. So we would love to have you in the community if you find what you're seeing here interesting, or you just want to get back into the game, or if you're a total newcomer.
Absolutely.
All right, Wario Stadium is another one of those courses with a big jump. You see where DK is right now. This is underneath where a jump is. They do get hit by a blue shell, but we have the top three players are about to go over the jump. And if you fall down, you actually fall down to that point where I just said DK was before. So you can lose quite a bit of time. And we see this.
Ooh, that red shell threatened Yoshi right as he was going over the gap there. Those can be pretty dangerous too, in addition to lightnings.
Absolutely. So lightnings are the most dangerous, and this is one of the courses where they make the biggest strategic difference because there's so many item boxes and opportunities to get them, and they're so impactful because of that jump.
And the red shells in this map were kind of interesting in comparison to all the other racetracks, Jed.
Yes, indeed. So the walls on this track, the dirt walls, oftentimes they are not quite vertical, and the red shells can actually climb up and over them to hit players who are on further parts of the track, and knowing exactly where they can and can't do that is really important at this highest level of play.
DK trying to grab that star out of Toad's hands there, didn't quite make it.
And
there's going to be another ghost. Early ghost usage, but you know, you really want to grab a star or another shock dodge item.
Yeah, ghosts are so important because if you have a ghost, it forces the players in the back to kind of try and spam out their items so that they don't get stolen, and that means that they can't use their items as effectively. So it can be used both as a defensive and offensive weapon. But we do hear this blue show, and we do see a lightning bolt. Are they going to use it now? They do get Toad to fall, and Yoshi stops. DK spins out and goes over. Yoshi, it looks like, is just going to wait out the timer on the lightning bolt. There is a backup, but you can't really do it when you're that close to the edge. And
it's a little risky.
It is quite risky. So Wario has a strong lead, closely followed behind by DK. We kind of have two battles, one on the bottom of the screen and one on the top right now.
Yeah, another blue shell. That's a lot of blue shells for WahMaster Stadium.
Indeed, and blue shells, when you're in fourth place, like, they're kind of not the item you want, honestly, because while they slow down the person in first, you'd rather be getting closer to the person in third or improving your own speed. So despite being kind of infamous in the game, they're not as powerful or what the players like to see when they're behind.
Wah getting caught up on the wall just a little bit, making the race just a little tighter. Blue shell still in play.
Ooh, and that's blue shell finally connects. Wario is trying to move into first, uses these green shells to try and create some traffic for Cheech to hit, but they do go over them with that jump. And I mean, can Wario get the win here on Wario Stadium? That's the big question on everyone's mind. Ooh, that red shell. DK does get hit, and looks like Wario also got slowed down there. I didn't see what quite happened, but we have a close race between the top three right now. Is there going to be a lightning bolt? Looks like no. All right, we've got this
that green
final
shell got
set of
close.
item blocks, and we do see a blue shell come out here. Will that cause some last-minute chaos? Will this last mushroom be able to get around Wario? Oh, the blue shell connects, and the red shell.
Wow, I'm pretty sure that blue shell jumped that wall to get there in time.
Oh my goodness, we talked about the odd shell pathing.
Unfortunate for Wah playing as Wario there. The blue shell took a little shortcut, I believe.
And you just see how incredible this gameplay can be to watch. DK does get the win, that's Cheech there, but all of our players within 6 points. This is an incredibly close match as we head on to Sherbet Land.
What everybody paid for.
That was our 9th of 16 courses, so we're just over halfway done here.
That's right.
And now we go on to Sherbet Land, which is very different from Mario Stadium. There's few walls on this left side. Players will try to jump over these cracks in the ice just to save that little bit of time.
Early
but
shock.
It can be very dangerous because you can fall in the water. And we do see a
Two blue
shell
shells
in play. And they're both choosing to just drag it behind them. I don't actually know what happens if a blue shell collides with some. Did Toad just get hit by their own blue shell?
Hey, it happens.
All right, as they enter this cave here, players are going to have two options. They can either go left and try to dodge a penguin or go right and take a further path. A similar dynamic to what they have on Yoshi Valley with the different paths they can take.
DK pulling out slightly ahead here. This is actually another good course to front run in my experience.
Yeah, so we talk about front running, and that is where you get out to an early lead and you just hold it for all 3 laps. It can be difficult on some courses due to the item dynamics, but other courses make it easier. And DK just got a shock dodge there because their boo was still wearing off as that lightning bolt went off. And Wario has a lightning bolt here, but they're going to wait for the other players to unshrink so that they get fully affected by the full duration of that lightning bolt.
That was close to Toad getting that star, and Wario gets another shock.
They fired that one a little fast. That might have been just spamming Z and accidentally firing it a little bit quicker than they would have liked optimally. But they are catching up to DK. You're gonna try and snipe them with the green shells, try to make them tumble. DK slows down but stays on the course and gets back out into first.
They're playing bumper cars. Oh, wow. 3% chance that banana hits Wah there through his 3 green shells.
And somehow Toad snuck into the lead while all that chaos was going on. And Yoshi does hit another bomb, but Toad, trying to take it home, does have this red shell for defense, is going to make it hard to get past. But DK is going to try and pick up a 4th place item. They get a golden shroom. And
Yoshi gets caught up on the penguins.
This is very close here for 3rd place. Toad is going to finish off the side of the left. We call this a swag finish. It's only for fun, but all of our players are going to do it because they like to, I guess.
Style points.
Style points.
They don't
Hattok,
count.
as Toad picks up another 3 points, and we have still a close race. Wah with 19.
Wario, slight edge.
Just the slightest of edges here, as we still have 6 more tracks. You know, you could pick up 18 more points, so...
Mathematically.
Yeah.
He could double his score almost.
All right, we are moving on to Royal Raceway. You'll notice this large jump out in front. It has similar dynamics to those in DK Jungle Parkway and Wario Stadium. Lightning bolts are going to make a large difference here. You're also going to notice all the players, as they take this 180-degree turn, they might hop up and over this grassy corner. They have to worry about this lightning bolt by Yoshi because you can spin out and fall into the water there. But Yoshi chooses to hold on to this probably until the players are going to get closer to this jump.
Yeah, keep them guessing when you're going to use it exactly.
It is a little bit dangerous because other players could pick up a boo, but
he uses it here.
Okay. Probably
Get track
saw that
position.
Toad was in 4th place with red shells, so by slowing them down, they could try and get into a better position, but does actually get hit by the red shell.
And that second red shell is going to wait for Yoshi there.
And Wario barely avoids that red shell. You are invulnerable to certain things when you're on that zipper there. Oh, these shrooms are actually a good item here right at the end. You can cut off the side of the road, although our players are mostly choosing to try and get additional items instead of going for the absolute fastest route.
Wario taking a very aggressive line there. Almost gets in trouble.
Okay, and Yoshi activates the star, is going to try and hit Wario, doesn't. Might
Misses
go
the
for
item
a
boxes.
hit. Does pick up a red shell.
But gets caught up on the wall.
That's the danger of trying to cut that so close, but going wide, risk going into the water. It's a very tricky corner. We see a boo in second. That's going to come into play if one of our players get a power item here.
Yeah, we'll see if we get a shock for Yoshi. That's what he wants. Ideally, now he gets a star.
And
Doesn't let Toad steal it, though.
Indeed, you kind of have that race when you get a great item, and the question is, do you spam the items or do you wait to see what you get? All right, we've got some more shrooms from Toad here. Just gonna go, I was gonna say goes for more items, but hits that fake item.
Yeah.
And another lightning bolt for Yoshi. So this is a very interesting decision as we enter lap
Cycles
3.
his items. He was hoping for another powerful item there, but gets the 3 shrooms.
And
See if these greens reach.
They do pick up quite a bit of time. Toad did
Close.
angle that green shell to try and anticipate the curve from Yoshi. It didn't quite connect, but it was very close. And Yoshi has moved all the way up into second by cycling the item. So sometimes using those lightning bolts early can be to your benefit. It's not always as simple as just waiting for the optimal point because you have to trade off whether you can get better items in the meantime.
And even though there's this big ramp here, there's actually 2 more locations that are pretty advantageous to using the shock on this.
Yeah, absolutely. So these players who are advanced take into account a lot of the details. This blue shell is going to hit DK, and I do see this red shell from Yoshi, and they are going to get pretty close. And with these mushrooms, you're now going to see them cut across the grass here, and I don't think... and they're going to cut into the inside here.
Wario's going to cut it really close.
And it's very close. Wario's going to get also doesn't quite catch up to DK. So Yoshi is the one that passes with some shrooms at the end. Picks up another 3 points. Comes within 5 points of Wah playing as Wario.
Wow.
And we've got a 6-point spread as we are 10 courses through. No, 11.
We've only got 5 more to go.
5 left. Anybody could take it.
Anyone.
If you've got time for a trackside report, I'm happy to share some love that are coming in for the love that's coming in for the racers.
Absolutely, we would love to hear some love right now.
We have $64 from Best Mario Kart is 64. 64 bananas to bring some good luck to DK. We do have some love also coming in we have a $1,000 donation from Haste, who says, need Yoshi to pull through for this victory. No racer is as cute, nearly as cute. Yoshi. And we have a $10 donation from Kono Rican. It just says, disco's not dead.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
All right, we are getting on to the last cup of the...
We've got Bowser's Castle still.
The last track of the Star Cup.
There you go.
That's what I meant to say there. We have long hallways here, a lot of 90-degree corners, and of course the thwomps. These thwomps are on a cycle, so in time trials they're much more predictable, but because of the variability of the items and the chaos of the other racers, they are hard to predict, especially on the later laps, as you can lose track of what cycle they're on.
Yeah, also in 150 there's 3 of them blocking that first entrance to the hallway.
And they are kind of on a pattern, so at least one of them will be up at any one time, but you do have to react quite quickly to go to the right angle to dodge them.
And Yoshi picking up a star here, hoping he can pick up a little bit more track position.
And let's see what sort of item they
Gets a shock dodge.
So Yoshi and Toad are going to be making it closer. Yoshi really trying to hit Toad, doesn't quite, but does have the red shells. Should be able to hit some players in front of them here. Not quite DK. They do spin out, get some more red shells, but Toad is going to be in first right here.
DK slamming on the brakes there as he can see 6 red shells passing by.
Yeah, choosing when to make a pass here. This is going to get chaotic, potentially over this bridge. Okay, Wario kind of slowing down, choosing not to take a risk there. Tangling with Yoshi as they go over that lava bridge.
Oh, DK getting a star here. Maybe he can mow down some of these reds.
And DK waits to get very close to the players, uses the star to pass ahead of them, is hoping to avoid any sort of red shells. But Toad has quietly just been maintaining their first place, and DK is now very close as we enter the third and final lap.
And Yoshi gets a star here. That's pretty ideal to go through the castle with a star and pick up another powerful item if you can.
Yeah, Yoshi is not going to have to worry about the thwomps here. They can just drive through them with a star. We'll see if that happens. Not quite yet, but they are catching up to Wario.
Oh, but they catch Wario.
And Wario is stuck in this corner. They are going to do what we call an A-B spin. You hold down A and B, and you can turn extremely quickly and get out of corners like that. And
oh, DK almost getting caught up on the bridge.
Toad fired that shell backwards and was able to do what we call a back snipe on DK. Gets a little bit stuck with this lightning bolt. Is going to make the jump. DK does it as well.
Wario finds the fake item box there on lap 3. Probably could have gotten a couple of points out of that lightning bolt.
All right, Toad is going to take home first, DK second, and Wario third. So Hattok is going to pick up another win here on Bowser's Castle. And we see
a pivotal win.
Indeed, they are only 4 points out of first, and yet again, we see a 6-point gap between first and fourth here. An extremely close match. One of the closest I've seen in the many that I've watched.
This is exactly what we asked for, Jed, didn't we?
All right, we are about to enter Flower Cup, Toad's Turnpike, and this is going to be another kind of longer track, so it'll be a good point to throw over to our host for a couple donations here.
Absolutely, and real quick before we do, as we're entering this last cup, hey, if you're having a good time watching this, please make some noise for our racers. Woohoo! I have a $50 donation from Klizzix. One of my core memories from college was setting up my copy of Mario Kart 64 in our commons area. For weeks after that, nearly 24 hours a day, there was always someone playing it. Friends, strangers, at times Mario Kart enemies, all brought together by such a great game.
We can get a couple more.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have a $500 donation from Silent Anthem, who just says, "Let's go."
Let's go.
And y'all, I have a $50 donation from Devious Davius, who says, "Hey GDQ, it's been a very energetic week so far. I can't wait for Awful Block later tonight." And I just want to point out that there's a new incentive that's opened, and if you didn't know it was Awful Block night, there's this incentive that says Yogi Bear cosplay and accent, and all I have on it, literally the only information they have given me, is Yogi Bear will literally manifest on the couch for this run.
Okay.
That is a $10,000 donation that we have to meet by the start of the Adventures of Yogi Bear run coming up later tonight. And y'all, it's Wednesday at GDQ. Can we give it up?
All right, we are starting lap 2 here. Toad's Turnpike. The obvious first feature here is the cars and vehicles that our players will have to dodge. This gets particularly tricky in the later half of the course when it narrows down to 2 lanes. You can get cars next to each other. The third lap traffic is particularly nasty. The other unique feature here is that the item boxes, instead of being spread out across the track or in a line down the track in these pullouts on the side, if 2 players are close together, you can go through all of them and prevent the player behind you from getting any items.
Just a quick check-in here. Our runners are really close together on this track, and it's not often you see a very close race on Toad's Turnpike because it's pretty easy to front run.
Yes, indeed. Speed items are generally not as effective because there's no off-road sections, and shells are less effective because red shells tend to hit walls with all the corners on this track.
And DK trying to get the banana snipe on Wario there. Almost makes the connection. Okay. Not a lot of power items going into lap 3. Oh, but there's a bolt right on time.
Speak of the devil. So Yoshi is going to have to choose when to use this, perhaps when they get to another set of item boxes so that they can get another 4th place item.
Oh, DK just barely missing the item boxes there from the spin out.
All right, Yoshi is going to move into at least 3rd with this item.
Gets another bolt!
This could get very close here as they can slow down the 2 players in front of them. It looks like they're trying to time it to mess with them as they turn to the left.
Gets a piece of DK. How much more damage can be done? Or you're getting caught up on the reds.
And you can get popped up over the railing there and go out of bounds. This would be a death. Oh, Toad just did a very impressive drive between 2 buses there, but Yoshi is coming up to the finish line.
Oh, last minute bolt. Toad can't get his star out fast enough.
So DK is able to play defense there, even though they couldn't shock the player in front of them who had a boo active, but they protect their 3rd place. And we do have a win from Yoshi, who moves up to 18. And somehow this match has stayed just as close. 6 points between 1st and 4th, as we have 3 courses remaining. If a player wins all 3 matches, they can get 9 points here. So all 4 of our runners are still in contention to win this whole match.
That's amazing. Very, very close.
All right, players have to be good at all the tracks to consistently earn points, and Frappe Snowland is a large contrast to what we just saw on Toad Turnpike.
Yeah, it was very closed off, now it's wide open.
Yes, and this has implications for those speed items, which can now go over these snow berms, and also for red shells, which can hit players from quite far away as they won't get caught up on anything.
And TK slowing down there to double up. He gets a star right after the shock. Let's see when he uses it. Goes for it, gets a piece of Wario there. He's going to take a commanding lead.
Indeed, and DK is coming up on the end of the first lap, and as they go around this last corner, you're going to see a bridge. There is water underneath that bridge, and if you fall out, you will have to get rescued by a Lakitu, so you can see last-minute changes quite often on this track.
Yeah, very nasty location to put down a banana bunch.
Okay, Wario does pick up several red shells and is able to hit Yoshi with one of them. Is going to try and fire from quite a far distance to hit Toad. Toad is able to defend with that fake item box,
Wario
but just Toad getting hit by everything right there. I'm not even going to try and count all of it.
Wario not holding his shocks very long. Going right for the gun here. Oh, barely misses that green shell ricochet there in the tunnel.
There aren't many walls on this course, but you will see players try to use green shells. This blue shell is going to come for
Toad's going to go down in the water.
All right, that is going to let Yoshi at least move ahead, try to pick up a point, and maybe get some extra items to pick up a few more.
Wario not hesitating on those red shells. He really needs to get a piece of DK here early.
Yeah, and DK would love something to...
Gets a ghost.
Okay, Wario can't get hit. Will they be able to make it between these berms to get a little bit of protection before DK can fire these red shells? DK fires these red shells up and over the berm. Will they fall down on Wario? That can happen sometime. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, it didn't connect. Oh, it actually went past him.
All right, so Wario is going to pick up first, DK second here. And Yoshi gets knocked out with a lightning bolt. Every place is the same point here, even though it's third and fourth, so Toad with a good item does pick up third here. Okay, while playing as Wario, does get an extra 3 points.
Yeah, critical.
Looks like they are in a strong position here. Still a very close match, but we only have 2 races left. So DK is going to be their competition going into these final few tracks.
And a tie for third. Really, every position is still up for grabs.
The fact that 18 points is tied for third is
incredible.
Absurd at this point. Like,
our runners have put up an amazing performance.
Yeah, give it up for them.
Oh, DK. Avoiding the red shell there, using the geometry of the map just barely.
All right, Yoshi is going to be the first player to get to a really interesting part of this course. If you notice this rock wall off to the left, we'll focus on Wario now. As they make this right-hand turn...
Wario overshoots it. The star is really fast in Mario Kart 64, so if you take an aggressive line with the star, that can happen.
Yeah, so you can fall off there. Players will try to sabotage with items, with lightning bolts, so you can have another course with quick changes at the end here.
And there's usually a railing there. That's absent in 150cc versus.
Yes, this is the fastest mode you can play on in this game, and there are a lot of slightly different features on many of the courses because of it.
Yoshi getting his star here, trying to get a little more track position, gets caught up on the chocolate just a little bit. Oh, hits the bomb car. Let's see how Toad uses this lightning.
So they're using the threat of the lightning bolt, holding on to it for a bit. DK slowed down there so that they wouldn't get knocked off, but they did have to go quite slow around that corner. So by able to use the threat and the execution of the lightning bolt, Toad moves into first place.
Oh, DK runs into his own green shell, but the red shell connects after. So he actually recovered a little faster there than he would have.
All right, DK is going to try and be catching up to Wah here.
Just narrowly misses another ricochet.
These are your 2 main contenders for the match title on the bottom here, but Toad having a strong match so far too is potentially going to pick up 3 points here. All right, DK going to come through this last set of item boxes, and Wario slows down intentionally so that DK will lose time.
Let's see how close. Oh, he hits the bomb car! Oh,
and he gets fourth!
That's a huge shift in going into the final race of our 16 courses.
All right, last track, everyone. Let's get hyped. Let's go!
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
And I thought that race was over. It's never over in Mario Kart until the end. This match is not over. We're going to have to pay attention to Wario and DK. DK is the only one who can catch Wario at this point. They're 2 points behind. They could make up to 3. So DK could win, Wario could win. There could be a tie. Keep your eye on Cheech and Wah for this final race.
Yep, on the bottom of the screen here.
And if I may, real quick, we have a $100 donation from Air Hadoken. Watching these 4 have a shell of a good time playing versus mode, I finally get the appeal if you catch my drift. Thanks, runners, for making it so worth it being here at AGDQ. Trans rights.
Woo! Woo.
One race to go.
All right. I think it's time to start the last race.
Yeah.
So for our final race, just as a note, time will be called when the results screen comes up. This will be a few seconds after the finish of the race. Keep your eye on the bottom screen as we have our main contenders in this match.
Yoshi picking up a star here. Speed items are really king on Mario Raceway since it's so short.
And it's easy to forget when you're talking about the match situation. All 4 racers are still on here. They can all mess each other up. So even if you're focusing on your match competitor, you got to keep your eyes on everyone.
Oh, wow. Wario gets a star here. See how long he holds it.
Okay, Toad does hit that banana, but uses the shroom to recover quickly. We see both of our main contenders with stars. DK still holding on to theirs, but is ahead of Wario. We have red shows popping out. DK now takes the star, is able to move into first. Wario is going to try and hold on to these red shows for a bit, see if they can get close enough to DK for them to be useful. But DK holding this lead as we enter the final lap of our match. Let's give it up.
Yep, the final lap.
We got a DK cheer. We got Wario with red shows. This final item from our players is going to be really important. Only a banana and a fib. Oh, Wario gets a spin out. That is a mechanic. I'm not going to explain it now. DK is going to get first here. Wario going to try and pick up some points. That drift was a little bit too tight. Yoshi's not going to be close enough. Wario is going to finish in third place here. And we have to wait for the results screen to come up here. And it's going to be in about a second here. This is time. We have a tie. Give it up for your co-champions.
Your co-champions.
Wah as Wario, Cheech as DK, and in a tie for third, we have Pokermon as Yoshi and Hattok as Toad. What an amazing match.
What a photo finish. We love 4-player versus, and we believe Mario Kart 64 was meant to be played like this. This game is turning 30 years old this year, but every versus match feels unique and fresh, and the competition is currently exploding. Thank you, Jed, for submitting our 4 runners into this category and for collaborating on the commentary with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Denny for his tremendous work. He watched dozens and dozens of rounds, and this would not have been nearly as good without him.
Thank you.
If you want to see more versus, tune in to March 7th and 8th to this year's PA Mate on Brody MK64's Twitch, or watch past events on his YouTube channel. Thanks to our friends and family. There's too many to list all of you now, but your support is so meaningful. And also thanks to the Mario Kart 64 community in general.
It's so warm.
It's so supportive. The community is growing and more active than it has ever been before. If you want to be part of this, head to MarioKart64.com and follow the link onto our Discord.
Thank you so much for playing our game.
And let's hand it back over to AGDQ. Thank you so much for having us, and shout out to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Thank you for all your donations and making this all possible.
Wow.